Hello there, Colin Yerp, ADEY's Head of Training. Welcome. Today we're going to do a webinar on ADEY business tools, and I'm really looking forward to this. Got a top team in. Robbie Trainer, perhaps you could introduce yourself, please.
Hi gentlemen, my name's Robbie Trainer. I have a business called TrueQuote, and we offer installers the ability to do an instant online quote from their website using the TrueQuote quoting tool.
Fantastic. Thank you, Robbie. Elliot, perhaps you could introduce yourself, please.
Hi Colin, I'm Elliot. I'm the Divisional Business Support Manager for the south of the UK here at ADEY.
Wonderful. Excellent. Well, look, we've got a strong team today. Let's get focused, and perhaps, Elliot, you could start us off by giving us a little bit of background on the ADEY business tools, please.
Yeah, sure. So we launched the ADEY business tools in February as an exclusive ADEY Pro Club benefit. So ADEY's recommending key partners that offer services our Pro Club members can use to grow their business in 2021 and beyond.
Excellent. Well, look, today we are going to focus our chat around TrueQuote, because it's a really exciting way of quoting a quoting tool. And I think for me, as an ex-fitter myself, Robbie, I've had this experience of darkened lanes late at night, quoting for central heating jobs, going into the wrong house. The lights are on, the dog's barking, you're 20 minutes late, the customer's got her back up. And, it's always been a real challenge for engineers. So, I'm really interested in your feedback in a moment. But if I could just start with Elliot. Elliot, what's your thoughts on why would I want an online quoting tool on my website, Elliot?
Main thing for me, Colin, is time is money. If an online quoting tool is going to save you time dealing with time wasters, if you've got a homeowner that's looking for a new boiler and they've already managed to see a ballpark price of what it's going to be before they've even made contact, if they're then going to proceed to make contact with you, that's a very hot lead, and I'm sure you'd have much more of a chance of winning that business rather than the standard way of obviously just arriving to the property blind with no information of the install that's in there at the moment.
Yeah, excellent. Robbie, what's your thoughts regarding having a quoting tool on the website? I mean, for me, obviously, I'm hoping it's going to be a lot easier, isn't it? I hope. Yeah,
my concern, and when we looked into building TrueQuote, was the heating industry was one of the only industries where you couldn't get an install price. So what you could do is you could find out the cost of a boiler, you could find out the cost of the control, you could find out the cost of a filter. So the different elements of what was included in the install, you could almost find. But nobody's really telling you what an install cost or giving a customer just an idea of what it might cost. So one of the things you can do is, which I've mentioned to people before, is you could go on a website and if you're going to buy your car, you could choose your color. You could choose the wheels, you could choose a sat nav, you could choose aircon, you could have tinted windows, and then you get to the end of the process and it gives you a price for what you've chosen, and you could subtract one or two things or add a few things in, but you'd know what you were going to pay, and you've given the customer an element of choice in there. Now, my view was, well, why can't we do that from the heating industry? Why can't we say, do you want a 2-year warranty on your boiler? Do you want a 5-year? Do you want 10-year? Do you want this control? Do you want this filter? And then allow the customer an element of choice. Now, some customers aren't as technical and might not know the answer. But if we suggest the right things to them and say, well, here's a budget type of install, or here's a mid-range type of install, or here's a top of the range install, you're giving the customer an element of choice and leading them in the right direction for something for their property. Now, it doesn't have to be an exact price. It's just an indicative quote to say to the customer, here's what it will cost. And you're engaging with that customer online and taking them along that journey with you and allow them to be part of the process and make a few choices for their own dwelling. It might be for a landlord who just wants a solution quickly for his rental, or it might be somebody who's not moving house and they're investing that little bit more. They want a 10 or a 12-year warranty. They want peace of mind and not worrying about it breaking down and them having a problem. So they're happy to pay the extra. So how do we give the customers that choice? And a lot of the reason and the way we've built TrueQuote is to make sure that the installer can build this in a way that suits their business, but also allows them to give the choices to the customer that suits their business, but gives the customer a bit more of a better understanding of these things.
Yeah, Robbie, that's really resonated with me. I'm loving the idea, you know, the engineers building their packages into a proposal. How great is that? And, you know, for me, again, I keep going back, you know, I say, I don't know where you were 20 years ago, Robbie. I wish you were around then, because, you know, it was a real minefield about quoting. You know, I found it such a difficult part of the business in realistically, because time and everything else. But anyway, that's by the by. But this is going to obviously help us out. And I think for me, the fact that also, Robbie, I suppose, once we're set up, am I seeing this right, that the fact that once we're set up, you could be getting people reviewing and looking at your website and looking for a quote in the middle of the night. You can actually be quoting in the middle of the night. How great is that?
Yeah, a lot of installers, they'll have a quote late on in the evening, and then we see them all logging in the following morning to get their quotes and go and contact that customer straight away. So one of the most important things is to not let that lead go cold. Make sure you contact the customer quite quickly after it's been generated through your website. So one of the things we added in was to make sure we give them the ability to receive an email when they get a quote, or receive a free text message. So a lot of these installers are on the road, might miss an email, don't see it until they get back on an evening, until they pop into the laptop. Well, actually, we'll just send you a text. We'll tell you you've got a quote, so ring that customer straight away. We get frustrated if we see somebody hasn't logged into their account when we know they've gotten a quote. So we will, on occasion, ring them, text them, send them an email saying that quote from that customer has been there 2 days and you haven't logged into your account yet. And it's frustrating. You think, oh, get in there and get it. That's a live customer. Don't let the customer think you're not bothering contacting them and have them go somewhere else. Make sure you react to them quickly, you know.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's really, I'm loving the accessibility. I mean, Elliot, can I just bring you in on something? Obviously, from the homeowner's point of view, I think also having this ability to go onto an engineer's site, that must be good for the homeowner. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it just gives a brilliant first impression as well. You know, the website, it makes it look far more professional to have that facility that, you know, you would maybe associate with a very large company. You know, for your local one-off installer to have that sort of function on their website, for me, if I was looking around for a boiler, I think that would just give me, you know, just builds trust and loyalty to that company before you've even really got involved into, you know, what you want from it.
Yeah, I think professionalism, I think it's a really good word that maybe this cover says on that one there. I think it's really good to see. But Robbie, I mean, for me, I'd love to know what TrueQuote's all about and what it does. And I'm just wondering, is it possible you can just give us a little bit of a demo on the ways of the world, as I would
Absolutely. Say? Yeah, no problem at all.
Thank you.
You see all that okay now,
yes,
guys?
Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of a bit of an overview of the account. Inside the system, when you join TrueQuote, you'll have some helpful videos and everything to get you started. A lot of other videos there telling you how to do all the different aspects of the system, and how to set everything up. Obviously, we want to make sure you've got all the support mechanisms there just to point you in the right direction, give some top tips and best practice and methods of using the system. I think the best thing to do is probably just go through and walk you through a quote, show you what it looks like on the website, and then if you want to fire any questions my way on the back of that, that'll be, you know, once you can see how maybe a couple of questions that an installer might have. So I'll go through a quote for you. Inside the system, you've got the ability to do a test quote and make sure you've set everything up correctly. This is what it'll look like on your website. So it'll say get a quote. You can put some top tips in here for customers, or little teasers, sorry. So you might, in the middle of the summer, might want to draw a customer in to get an install done in August. There's loads of different things you can put in there for advertising. You've got all your checker trade and review sites you can add into your account, testimonials from customers, your gas safe, your off tech, and all the other products that you're able to display or sell or fit through your business. So what we'll do is we'll click on get a quote and walk you through it. So the customer's obviously given some questions about their property. I'm just going to do a flat here for now. Oh, sorry, 1 bedroom. I clicked past that there. My apologies. 1 bedroom. How many bathrooms? 1 bathroom. Do you have a cylinder? We'll say no in this instance. It's a combi. So not all customers would necessarily know what a flue is. So we'll give a couple of examples and then give the customer the choice. We'll say it's a vertical flue. We're offering a magnet cleanse here, so we'll say yes. And then what fuel is that property? It's a natural gas. So as you can see here, we then display the options to the customer. So on my demo here, I've got a boiler with a 2-year warranty. I'm showing the control and the filter, and I'm showing that I'm able to offer finance, 9.9%, 0%, and I'm showing this customer, if they want to put a deposit in, what the monthly price would be if they want to go down the finance route. I'm also showing the customer what's included with that install. You can scroll down. I've then got the second package, different boiler, different warranty, different control and filter. In this one, if I'm only able to offer 0% on with this brand, then that's what I've chose to display to the customer. You'll notice the 9.9% there isn't on that one. This is just to show you that it's customizable behind the scenes, and you can see how you can tweak everything to suit your business. And then another offer, this one's got a 10-year warranty, different control, different filter, and then I'm also able to make the install price more prominent, or the customer can toggle between each one to see how that works. Okay, so what I would then do is, as a customer, let's just choose the middle one. So what it said is, as part of the package that I've initially presented, you get this control because it's part of the package at no extra cost. Now, we mentioned before about the scenario with the car, about choosing your wheels, choosing your sat nav, the aircon, all of that sort of stuff. We're giving the customer a little bit of choice. They might just not be bothered, and they'll say, well, I'll just keep that control. Or they can say, well, I'm not very techie. I'm not necessarily always looking for a smart control or something like that. I'll just have a more basic control. I'll downgrade to that one. But anytime you show a saving for a customer, it presents to them that they get, oh, I can get a good deal on that. I'm able to make a saving. So little things like that are quite good to show the customer and give them something to play with and be part of the process. And then if they want to upgrade because they maybe want a smart control, they could click that, and that's what they will get, and that will be added to their quote. There's different options on the filters. We said would give them this filter as part of the package, so we'll keep that. And then it takes the customer to the address contact form, and you've got the document here on the right hand side which shows everything that you've chose through that process, and it's documented so that the installer knows that property, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, is it a vertical flue, and what the customer's preferences were. Customer would then fill in their details. You can see that populating inside the document there, and that PDF that the contractor sends out, you can see it's got their logo on, it's got their business address, boiler quote, and then the customer's details will be filled in fully on that one. Once they click fill in all the address details and everything there and click continue, it will then give them a quote, and inside their account it'll have their latest quotes will be populated in there for them to go in and access. Because it's a secure account for GDPR reasons, we don't send an email with the customer's details anywhere. The installer has their own secure account. They have to log in to go and obtain those customers' details, which means 100% private sales lead. It's going nowhere, and it's locked down until they log in. So that's kind of how you would go through the process as a customer, as to how you would view it, how it looks on the website, and we've obviously got a lot of information for the installer inside the account as well, like how many quotes you've had, what the value of those quotes are, your most recent quotes, and we do also give them some information on how many people go to their website. So if I go down here, you can tell them how many people go to their website and how many people are interacting with their quoting tool. So there's a lot of information and a lot of flexibility inside the account. Everything is set by the installer themselves, We don't put the prices in. The installer sets the price for whatever boiler they're fitting. The labour rate, obviously, they would build into the final price. They choose which boilers they present, which controls, which filter they want to sit in each package, and everything that they want to include as part of that install. So that's all fully customizable, and what the installer does themselves. And it's just an overview. We give them about typical choices inside their account. But like I say, if they get stuck, there is loads of videos inside the system to help them get set up. We've got plenty of support, email, telephone, and there's a live chat facility inside the account. So if any time, might be late on an evening when these guys get started and setting this sort of stuff up, they can type in here, it'll come through there's 3 people monitor that all the time. So we'll be giving them answers and support like 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's not a problem. It's just a lot of the time it'll come through to my mobile phone or one of the other guys' phones if they're not in front of a computer to answer them, and they'll just reply as if it's a text message. And a lot of installers find that we find that the installers contact us a lot more through this facility than ringing or sending an email. It's just a quick message. They want a quick answer. We send that back out to them, and that's how we provide as much support as we can. Does that kind of give you a view of it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Robbie, I mean, it's exceptional. I have to say to you that, you know, the understanding that, you know, that as an engineer, you said that. I take it, Robbie, just obviously the engineer needs to have a website to be able to deliver that, but the quality that's going to be brought to that website is absolutely huge by what I'm looking here. You know, this is really exciting. So we do expect the engineer to have a website to be able to deliver this, don't we?
Yes, they need to have a website. That may change in the future, but not for now. We'll might have a solution in the future if they don't have a website, but for now they'd have to have a website to get that up and running. But it's one line of code. That's all it is. They drop that into the website and that'll appear on the website. The second they make a change inside the account, so they might change a boiler, change a price, or change whatever it is that they're advertising to that customer, that will go live immediately. There's no need for them to contact their website developer. It's all set up by the installer themselves, so no extra costs of having to go back to your website guy and say, I need to make this change, and then saying it'll be a week, or it might take a bit of time to get it done for you. In terms of the price, the packages, the boilers, the controls, the filters, everything that you want to set up inside the account is done by you, the installer.
Yeah. So you cannot complain about the prices, guys. You know, you can see the price. I think Robbie meant, you know, those 2-year warranty, 5-year return, splitting out looks a really wonderful way of getting those different package levels in, which customers like to see as well. Robbie, just out of interest, is there a fee to be using this as such?
Yeah, there's a couple of different scenarios you can do to register when you register with TrueQuote. It's free to sign up. There's no cost to get in and have a look and get started and go and explore the system and see how it works. No cost initially. When it gets up and running and you start getting quotes through your website as a result of having it all set up correctly and advertising it onto your website, you can choose a monthly subscription if need be. There'd be £20 a month. There are discounts if you want to go for a yearly subscription, being an ADEY installer. So there's discounts for that, but all the pricing is on the website and obviously through the Pro app and stuff like that. So they can have a look at that.
Have a look at that. Obviously, obviously Robbie, on the website, all the terms and conditions are there as well for a review.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think for me, that like I say, I'm definitely 20 years too old now, Robbie. Thank you for that. But you know, it certainly would make quoting a far easier piece of our business. Elliot, what's your thoughts? I think I'm really impressed, I have to say to you.
The main thing for me, Cole, is just how user-friendly it is. Not just for a homeowner sort of getting their quote, but actually for the installers as well, managing their account. After what I've seen there, it's just seems really simple, which I think is important.
Yeah, I think we know what engineer. You know, I've been there as well. You know, I think for me, Robbie, once the setup's done, it's not runs itself. I think the beauty of it is the support your team give to making sure they keep an eye on those emails, keep an eye on those reminders, loving all of that support as well. And I think, like you say, the videos to help you get started, you know, there is no reason why getting started is an issue at all. It's very well supported.
No, we want to offer support. I mean, same as those guys, if they went and installed a heating system and provided all the new fancy Dan controls that they can use, and they wouldn't just give it to the customer and walk out the door.
No.
And we're not about to do that. We'll make sure that if they're going to sign up and they want loads of support, the amount of Zoom calls and stuff we've been doing, like on an evening when the guys get back in, I'll share the screen and go through the account with them to say, okay, this is how you set a boiler, this is how you set your control, this is how you add your filters in, this is how you do all your finance settings. We do that on a regular basis, especially if some installers are exceptional heating engineers, but they generally fear computers. They don't like them. But we don't want them to fear the TrueQuote system. We want them to come in and say, well, I've just got to click a couple of buttons, pop a boiler in a box, put a price in, and I'm good to go. And it's almost that simple. We just want to make it easy for them. And if they're not finding it easy, then we'll support them as much as we possibly can, you know.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you for that. Again, I think having that support available, and I think with Elliot and his team and the ADEY business support managers, I think, you know, setting up webinars to support on that is a really great piece to offer as well. So thank you, Robbie. But thank you for your time, Robbie. I'll say, you know, short and sweet, but I think it's really hit home for me that, you know, you've got to keep ahead of the game, guys, and this is a tremendous opportunity. So thank you for your time, Robbie, this afternoon. Elliot, thank you.
No problem, gents.
No problem.
Hopefully join us again soon on another webinar.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Bye.